Hello, everyone. And if you don't know me, I'm Alicia at Alicia Unapologetically You. I'm a little agitated right now. I'm tired and I tried to rest and I did a little bit. And I've been playing my games and trying to build some coin because I literally eh, have only made in the past, well, couple weeks, I think it's been. I've made like $3. But usually it takes me a week or two to make five, but I've made less because I've been, just so much extra going on and I've been napping more. So I'm up at odd hours. Um, and I just had to listen to being drilled over stains on the carpet in the other room. And honestly, I don't know. I've been in this room for hours, you know, playing my games, trying to make money, napping, trying to take care of myself because I haven't felt good. The beans came out great, by the way. I still prefer the old fashioned way that my grandmother used to do it, and my mom and stuff, my grandfather. And I come from a family of farmers, hunters, cooks, and you name it, we do it all, jack of all trades. Um, yeah, so I don't know what the heck it is, but something felt black all over the carpet, sticky or whatever. I didn't see what happened. And no, it wasn't there earlier. And no, I haven't been out there to see. I ain't been outside and nothing. So no. I told her I don't know where it came from. Over and over. Don't you hate that when people do that? It winds you right up. It does me. Winds me right up. I told you. You asked me. I obviously don't know. I didn't see what happened or what it is. So I have no clue. But had to keep asking and asking. Freaking felt like forever, over and over again, like 100 freaking times. And I kept saying, I don't know, because I don't know. And it's just winding me up. So now I'm making this video to get out my frustrations. I just don't get it. I gave you an honest answer because I honestly don't know. I didn't see where it came from, what it was, how it happened, when it happened. So no, I just know the last time I was out there, it was not there, and it was still kind of daylight out. It's a friggin' after 10 o'clock at night. So no, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? And so my solution was, you want to know? Put a camera up. There you go. Anytime you got an answer, nobody knows. You got a damn camera recording everything. Jesus. Wow. I'm just irked. I'm tired. I haven't felt good. Had I don't know if it's blood or what, but I went pee few past few days and not every single time, but I thought earlier today I noticed it was looked like a little bit of blood so in the urine, so I'll mention that to my doctor on Wednesday. I got enough stress in my life right now, on top of everything else that's been going on for the past few years since I've been out of work. And I just don't need no petty, stupid little shit like that. I gave you an honest answer. What, you want me to lie to you and tell you what you want to hear when I really don't know, which I told you I don't know? No, I'm not going to do that. I told you the truth. I don't fucking know. So put a goddamn camera up then. That will give you your answer to whatever happened. I don't, makes me feel like I'm a child living at home again as a teenager or something. I'm just so stressed and frustrated, and I got enough going on with my health issues, and I gotta go have this stupid pap smear for my the vaginal wall pap smear because I ain't got a cervix anymore because they removed my cervix with my uterus when they did the hysterectomy years ago because of cervical cancer. I'm sorry if I sound aggressive right now, but I'm frustrated because I just don't need that. That's just, I told you, I don't freaking know where it came from. I don't know what it is. I heard the vacuum and the carpet cleaner going for a while. I guess he's been trying to get whatever it is out, but I didn't know what the hell was going on till he has me go look and ask me. I don't know. I weren't there. I didn't see. If I knew, I would definitely be the one to tell you. I'm not going to tell you something I don't know if I don't know. So I don't fucking know. Let it go because you're winding me up. I got enough shit on my mind and stress. I don't need stupid shit like that making me feel like I'm a teenager at home again. Christ's sakes. One thing I don't do is fucking lie. So, jeez. Fucking just, wow. Makes me angry. And on top of it, I'm tired. It's crazy. I can't wait to get. I mean, I am grateful to have my ex as my friend. Okay, he's been more family to me and a better friend than a lot of people have in my life. You know, I mean, we didn't break up for bad reasons like abuse or anything. It was more of, yes, we were together for 20 years. He was young, he was 26, he or something. He was in his 20s. I was early 30s. Not long after I'd had my hysterectomies when I met him, a short few years after I met him. Is when I met him, I mean. And yeah, we was together for 20 years, living like a married couple, but not legally married. And that was fine by us, because I'd already been married and divorced twice to two assholes that were abusive. The second one was worse. So I was okay with that. And I'm not one that is like a lot of people who think you know, if you're going to be with somebody, that they have to marry you to prove they love you. No, no. People marry for the wrong reasons these days. I don't, it's just a piece of paper. It, to me, it's more, you know, to express something real, but a lot of people just, it changes people in a bad ways a lot these days, you know. But I'm not one to think that you have to be married to be together. As long as you're happy and you love each other, it's just a piece of paper to just legalize so that everything is combined, financial and everything. But it really shouldn't be about that, but the world has turned it into that. I don't know. My ex husband used to say, "You're bought and paid for now." Really? Asshole. But, anyways, you know, we fought like most couples do, but mostly bickering like an old married couple. But it wasn't anything like bad. People laughed at us, called us Edith and Archie, like the old sitcom. Because really, and I used to say, okay, that's a good one. You know, you're right, but which one of us is Edith and which one is Archie? Because we were both the same. So I was a little confused on which one was which, but that was a good comparison. It was kind of like that couple back in the day, you know, but loved each other deeply, you know, and still do, but just as friends now. And you know, and 20 years, you know, towards the 20 end of the 20 years, the last 4 years of the relationship, I was, you know, going through menopause. When I turned 40, I remember sitting on the couch crying, and I'm like, just watching TV, and I'm like, thinking to myself as I'm bawling, why am I crying? There ain't even nothing wrong. Why am I all of a sudden crying out of nowhere? What's going on? So I ended up, I had an appointment with my doctor and I was telling him about these, the crying, I went into Walmart and it was winter, and all of a sudden I got my first hot flash. And I remember running out of that store and there's snow outside, freezing cold, but I could have melted the snow. The hot flash was so bad, taking off my jacket, standing outside in the cold snow trying to cool off. I had to get out of there. I felt like I was suffocating. That was the worst hot flash of my life, my first one, and they only got worse. And they told me, so the doctor did blood tests and said, well, you're going through what they call perimenopausal. And I'm like, what? Menopause? Well, you had a hysterectomy young, so it kind of makes it happen young. So, yeah, that was not fun. And I remember asking him, how long is this going to last? Well, it's different for everyone. It could be 5 years. Who knows? I'm thinking, oh, great. Yeah. But perimenopausal, I soon figured out and realized, was an actual menopause. It's the beginning of menopause that can last up to 5 years to 10 years or more, depending on the person. But it doesn't end there like I thought. Then it turns into like what I call full blown actual menopause. You go from the beginning stages, years, to even worse. And for some women, it can be hell for you and everyone around you. Because I ended up being like my mom was. I remember she's always screaming and hollering at us and crying at the drop of a hat over nothing. Screaming, hollering, crying, laughing. It was like her hormones were just all twacked out, and we were like, "What is wrong with you?" And then I went through it, so I understood then. And I was worse than she was. My moods were, oh my God, it's stupid little things too, like, I don't know. I'd drop something and you'd think it was the end of the world, and I would just say, what is your problem? No, it's like, I don't know. I can't help it. But no, it was menopause and it sucks. And that lasted even another few years because I'm in my 50s and I'm still going through it. So, yeah, it sucks. But anyways, what I was getting to was the last 4 years of the 20 years that we were together. I was going through menopause, like I said, and I was going to like a lot of other different emotions too. I mean, we weren't having sex like we used to because suddenly my sex drive went up, and I was never very, like had sexually active often like some women are, but he was okay with that. He loved me the way I was, or so I thought or felt. And it just seemed like it got less and less, and I started to feel like a lot of women do, like, oh, okay, what's wrong with me? I'm not attracted. Am I too old? Because I am 8 years and 2 months exactly older than he is. And I've always had this problem with getting older and aging. It's always been a thing for me. And I'm not afraid of dying. I know we're all going to die one day. It is. We're human. But I just don't want the wrinkles that go with it. I want to look 20 again forever. I don't want to look old. It's not getting old and, you knowing that one day that day's gonna come where it's gonna, it's gonna be my turn to leave this earth. It's more of I don't want to look old. That's all. I don't want the wrinkles. I want to look young and attractive the rest of my life. But that doesn't happen. That's not realistic for everyone. Beauty on the outside fades. So, it really isn't about the looks on the outside. And a lot of these younger people, like I was, will realize that one day when they get older. And around my age and older, they will see it more and more. Because you do. You start to understand those things that the older adults tell you that you just didn't get at the time. But anyways, it changed. I was always skinny, skinny, skinny too. My whole life, even as a child, is always what he called a spinner, skinny model body type. They used to call me Twiggy. Twiggy was a famous model back in the 70s. And I was tall and thin like her all my life until I hit menopause. And then it kind of like it slowed down my metabolism. And there was nothing wrong with physical. I wasn't anorexic and nothing like that. Believe me, I love my food. My mom used to nickname me Jethro from the Hillbillies show with Granny and all, and Ellie Mae and all that, because Jethro was always like eating, just constant eat, eat, eat. It's like, where are you putting it? I was like, I just love to eat. I love food. But I could never gain a pound. Turns out it was just my metabolism was just naturally high, and some people just have a very high metabolism. There was no medical or anything wrong reason. I was healthy as a horse otherwise. I mean, I could sit on the couch and eat anything I want and never lift a finger or move or do anything, and I would not gain a pound. If anything, I had a harder time keeping weight on. Couldn't eat enough because just a very high metabolism than anything else. So when menopause changed that, it kind of reversed it. So suddenly my metabolism slowed down, and I look at food now and gain 10 pounds. So, and I always used to say, oh, I wish I could gain weight. I hate being skinny because, a lot of you bigger girls and stuff, you got it all wrong. It's not fun being that tiny. It is not what you think it is. I remember Jerry's sister always called me, I hate you, you skinny bitch. I wish I could be skinny like that. She didn't mean it like in a bad way. That was just the way she talked. She's joking, basically. And I've always told her, believe me, it's not what you think. It's not what it's cracked up to be. It actually sucks. I wish I could gain weight. And my mom would always, careful what you wish for. Yeah, and she was right, because menopause changed that. Suddenly, I couldn't. Yeah, yeah. I look at food and gain it. So, and I ended up gaining 200 pounds. And, you know, bless his heart and all, and yes, he loves me. But Jerry has never been one to be able to be sexually attracted to any heavy woman. Doesn't matter who it is. Um, he loves older women, so that's what one of the things attracted to me. And I was a spinner, he called me, because I was just that body type he liked. But gaining 200 pounds going, when menopause hit, he just wasn't physically attracted to me that way, but he still loved me as his woman in a relationship. He just couldn't do sexual physical part of it anymore. It just he doesn't know why. He still don't. I always asked him, you then how can you still love me as your girlfriend when now I feel more like your freaking roommate, as you can't be affectionate with me, not even cuddle, nothing. It's like I felt more like a freaking roommate for the last 4 years of the relationship and going through menopause and my hormones being so freaking twacked out. It made me even more insecure, which I always was insecure about my looks and my body too. That just made it worse. And, the rapes and stuff that happened to me at a young age and the abuse and, trauma as a small child and growing up and how you know, my virginity was stolen when I wasn't ready, which ruined things for me. It just kind of made me more insecure because you know, I never took him seriously when he said that, don't gain weight because I'm not going to be able to look at you the same. Sexually, no, he just wasn't interested in me anymore. He told me I was too heavy, I wasn't his body type. Well, to me, that's like saying you're fat. Okay, that hurt my feelings. That made me feel more insecure and made me feel worse. I tried everything for the last 4 years of that 20-year relationship. I tried everything for 4 years. I bought corsets, stuff to try to suck in my stomach and the strings, and I'd have him pull it tight to try to pull my tummy in and try to make myself, you know, more attractive to him and stand, get those corset lingeries and stand in front of the TV and try to get out of the way. I'm watching my car show. Hello. Am I invisible? So on top of starting to age on the outside, my skin and everything, I gained 200 pounds. He called me pleasantly plump or not his body type, but he still loved me like that. He just wasn't sexually, and it just didn't make sense to me. My hormones were already twacked out from the menopause, which I was still learning and not understanding myself. It's not like it comes with a handbook on menopause, for crying out loud. And doctors really don't tell you much. And people, I don't know. So, yeah, I was going through a lot of confusion and hurt and pain. And I just didn't believe that you could still love somebody like that. And I don't know. My head was all messed up and my hormones too. So I did something really stupid, thinking it would get his attention and change things, but it didn't. Instead, it backfired in my face. And I started going on social media or online and stuff, which I never did before. I might have scrolled through Facebook, but I never talked to anybody. So I did. I went on social media. Nothing was actually, I wasn't really doing anything. I didn't like have an affair or cheat or anything like that. But I made him think I did. And yeah, that didn't go over very well. Yeah. So I fucked up. That was the first time in my life I ever really lied, and especially to him. But I just felt like I didn't know what else to do. I tried everything else to try to get his attention, even suggested counseling, everything, but just nothing would ever work. And instead, and I had a bad feeling about it, but I felt, I don't know, just something made me do that drastic. And my conscience ate me alive. And it broke his heart and it hurt him and it hurt me too, just as much. Because I do love him deeply, I always have. And he does love me deeply, he always has. But I just felt like he didn't want me anymore and that he just wasn't, I don't know. So I fucked up by doing it the way I did. I shouldn't have done that. And out of anger, he went and told his family that I was actually having an affair, which I wasn't. And now his whole family has turned on me and thinks that I'm this whore slut, whatever. Excuse my language. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Um, but if anything, I hope if there are some women out there and men, couples, whoever you may be, that went through what I went through, and I'm still with the menopause, but at that moment, what happened between me and him, don't do something stupid like that to try to get their attention, because that was really dumb. I wasn't thinking. I made a huge fucking mistake, and I have beat myself in the ass for years for it since then. And I've tried so hard to make up for it. But I am blessed and glad that we've gotten past that, and he is still my friend and he is helping me. And uh, yeah, that was just horrible. But I tried to come clean and he believed me. I'm not good at writing and I'm not good at talking. So what I did, my counselor, I talked to her about it and I was crying because I was like, I was so stupid. Why did I make him believe something so stupid? I mean, as a woman, she, said she could understand where I was coming through and what I was going through, but still, that was very stupid. My head just wasn't thinking clearly with my hormones and everything. And I'm not making excuses by any means. I'm just telling you what was I was going through, and I realized how stupid it was. It was too late. I so anyways, I'm not good at writing things down, so she gave me the idea because I like to sing. I'm not the greatest at it, but I do like to sing when I'm alone or doing stuff around the house. So I took my phone and I turned the camera on, the video, and video recorded me singing my feelings of what happened, how stupid it was to do that to him. And we both cried when he listened to it. And it gave us both some kind of closure, but we've been really good friends since then and getting closer again as friends since then. So I'm blessed that he didn't like hate me and turn his back on me or nothing. He still been there for me as a friend. Yeah, because my own family hasn't been able to help me out. So I'm very lucky to have him still, you know. I made an honest mistake that I shouldn't never done it that way to get his attention, but I'll learn from my mistakes like I always do. And that's important to learn from those mistakes. So I guess this is a good message, I guess, for some people out there who have been in that position and situation or whatever. And if anything, I hope you get something positive out of this to know don't do that. Don't ever do that. That was wrong. I've tried to, and I still feel like I gotta try to make up for it since then. But that was 5 years ago. So, we've come a long way since then. And he understands now. But I video recorded myself singing the truth and my feelings. And that was really bad of me. And we both cried as we listened to it together. And, yeah. But, we also have a friendship history, relationship, love type thing that a lot of people don't understand. Even his own father, it's like, why do you even talk to her still? And, oh, she's just saying that to make up for, no, I'm being honest. I didn't actually do anything. I did carry it too long. I should have come clean sooner, but at least I came clean when I did, because most people don't. They take it to their grave and it just destroys everything. Because one lie leads to another and another and another, and next thing you know, you've dug yourself a hole that a lot of people just can't ever bring themselves to come out of. So when I say in my other videos, sometimes talking about accountability, that I always take accountability, even if I don't right away. Eventually, I will. I won't carry it out for the rest of my life either. You know, I have to do that, or my conscience will eat me alive. So, anyways, y'all, have a good night. I vented. I feel better. Thank you for listening. And thank you to my viewers and subscribers. I really appreciate every one of you. I do. Um, and my subscribers are growing. Like over 30 now. Thank you. That's not bad for somebody starting out. It's only been like a month. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. That means a lot. Thank you. And I hope to have many, many more subscribers. So, anyways, love you all. God bless you all. Have a good night.